channel.
You just completely avoided my question.
So will you be needing more
I know you'll ask
coffee?
again.
Okay, what do you? I mean, listen. We've seen Paseni come out. We've seen Brindisi come out. This is a perfect time. What's going on?
You know what? It is, Bill. We've had a good point. And yes, I have made a decision.
You have made a decision?
I have made a decision.
Oh, really?
Look, this is, it's been a difficult decision-making process because I take public office seriously. I have dedicated my life to public service. I know some people would always say, well, you're a career politician. I look at it differently. I look at
it as a positive.
Well, yeah, it definitely is a positive. As I remember growing up, many people, whether it was President Kennedy, President Reagan, were calling people to public service. And now we trying to cast aspersion on that. But from a public service perspective, and that's how I started this, to get into government service.
Yeah.
Elective office came after, where the opportunity presented itself, and I took it, and people have an opportunity to make a choice. I think we have always worked hard. I base it on the way I was raised. I think that's a tribute to everybody right here in the room. I was fortunate. My parents really instilled great virtues in me from working hard and being honest. And you apply that in life, and I hope that has resonated with the people that I have served in the offices that I've had the honor to have held during my tenure. So when you look at Congress and you look at a young man, my grandfather immigrated here from Italy. It's a great honor to be considered and to consider this race. Yeah. There's an allure to holding the congressional seat because you now are serving your country. And so that made this a very difficult decision. I do believe that I possess the ability and the skill set. You see how we have tried to work across party lines. I think we need more of that now in Washington, where you really can not only take an interest and get involved, but also try to make a difference. And it's going to require people finding common ground. And you can do that without abandoning your philosophic beliefs or your morals, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree with that.
In order to govern and to get a result. So I looked at this professionally, where I am and what I have been able to do and what we are accomplishing for this community. There's great momentum right now, and I'm in a very good position. And that is very important to me, to know where I am and what I'm doing and that it can make a difference in this community. Politically, as we indicated, I have had a lot of pressure to really get in the race.
I know you have.
I have a lot of people that I respect.
Especially right now, because a lot of people are now getting out.
Absolutely. In fact, just last night I had several calls saying, we need you to do this. Yeah. And I know the numbers look good, and we have... we would have a political path here that I can see, and so that made it. The encouragement was really flattering to me. Having the support that has been expressed from friends, from family, from people in the public and private sectors from across the state and even nationally, is very flattering and humbling at the same time. Because as you know, we take this seriously, and I approach this in a very serious way. But in the end, I look at this also personally. Not only where can I do the most for our community, but also my obligations and responsibility to my family. I'm very fortunate to still have my parents with me. We're blessed, my wife and I. And I know how difficult it is on Lorraine right now with the travel. And so as we look at all of this and weigh it all, I have decided not to enter the race for Congress.
Wow. I'm really surprised by that. I thought after last week's announcement that you were in.
Well, a lot of people did. And as I said, we've got a lot of calls and a lot of people. I have friends in nationally that really have been calling me and stepping it up. We've had some communications with people in politics nationally. I spoke locally to people that I have a lot of respect for, former members of Congress. So we did a lot of soul searching here. I talked to Congressman Bullard and Congressman Arcuri, spoke to Congressman Gibson, and also even the Lieutenant Governor and I had a conversation. She's a former member of Congress. So as I was really looking at this, there was just so much to put into perspective, because while I believe I could have done a good job, and I was. The opportunity is something, as I indicated, I look at it as a way to serve your country. I also think we're doing a great job.
There's still a lot to be done here.
There's a lot that needs to be done. And I think we're doing a good
and
job.
I hate to say, maybe this is the right decision. I actually, if when we've talked, and I said to you right off the bat, I didn't think this was a good decision because I felt you have so much to do left here, and you're about to be you're gaining a great deal of leverage now in the Senate with seniority, and I would hate to see you walk away from that.
Well, you're right, and that's something that was weighed heavily on me. And we do have a great team here working with Assemblymember Brindisi and County Executive Pacenti and the mayors. There's a lot of not only energy here, but I think it's a great collaborative effort where people respect each other professionally, work together well personally, and that's something that I think we need to see more of in Washington too. And that was one of the other areas of interest to me. But a lot of things change in life, as you know. We're all very busy, and you all work very hard here. Everybody thinks it's so easy or glamorous when you're looking from the outside. And the personal stuff is very important too, to balance that with the professional.
Yep.
And a lot of times you sacrifice a lot. And
how about you mentioned your wife? Clearly, she'd figure out a way to. I watch her. She supports you, and it's like it's really incredible. You found the perfect person because she really does support you in this.
Well, and she's
your parents,
right? She's got a difficult job because she's also an educator.
Right.
She has her primary responsibility, and then it's almost like having a second job when she's got to be on for me and comes with me, and she does it. She's been a great partner. I love her dearly, and without her, I couldn't do a lot of this stuff. But yeah, I'm very blessed to have my parents. And
you would
God
be
willing,
missing a very important part of your. Hey, we always hear this about parents missing an important part of their kids' lives, but you'd be missing a very important part of your parents' lives.
Well, I'm an only child, so it's Lorraine and I that are there. We have a great family support network with uncles and cousins and aunts, but still, that's our primary responsibility. This could be always looked at in so many different ways. But that's important to me. And this year they'll be celebrating 70 years of marriage, which is a milestone. And it's remarkable.
That is big.
Yes. And so...
Oh, my goodness.
You want to know something equally as remarkable? The celebrant who officiated their marriage is still alive and doing well.
Wow.
Still says Mass occasionally. And I'm hopeful, if all goes well, that we'll have an opportunity to celebrate together this year.
That's really awesome. Well, Joe, so if you just tuned in, Joe Griffo has announced that he will not run. It's down to really only one other local official, if you will. It's down to Ray Meyer. What are your thoughts here?
Ray,
obviously, you don't want to speak for anybody, but
Ray is was an exceptional public servant. He did an extraordinary job as both a county exec and a former state senator. I think if Ray is and a former candidate for Congress, this is something that would fit Ray well if he chooses to do it. But I know he's weighing a lot too because he has now a very successful private career. His family is important to him too, and so I'm not sure what ultimately Ray would do, but I think he would make an excellent congressman if he chose to do that.
Clearly, Claudia Tenney has already announced on the Republican side, and so is this guy named George Phillips, who's from the Binghamton area. He's announced on the Republican side as well, and Dave Gordon on the Democratic side. Yeah,
I think there'll be several candidates that will now continue to come forward beyond what have already announced. So it'll be interesting over the next several weeks to see who comes forth and who is interested and willing to expend the effort and the time. One of the other issues with Washington, and talking to some of my friends who are on the Hill, actually, because I got a very good friend who's a member of Congress that was just elected, served with me in the state Senate. It's the money chase that is, that's really
you're always having to raise money.
Turns you off. It just to think that you're constantly looking. This is a race that's going to cost over $1 million, maybe more.
Yeah,
definitely
I was hearing $2 million,
probably a couple million.
Yeah.
And the money chase, once you get there, this exorbitant amount of time and how it consumes you to continue to raise that money, even if you're successful, you need to do the same. And I've had conversations with Congressman Hanna. I think he did an extraordinary job because he did this because he
didn't
cares
have to.
about our
The
community.
beauty of him is he didn't have to chase the money.
Absolutely.
I mean, I'm not sure a lot of people will say on certain social issues they don't agree with Richard Hanna, but at the end of the day, he didn't have to chase the money. and that's a real benefit.
Yeah, and it's costly even to live in D.C., and it's difficult, so if you have some means, it's a little easier, but, several members of Congress, a lot of them that I know personally, are sleeping in their offices because of the cost of living down there. So you weigh it all, and you look at everything, and in the end, I think this is the right decision at this time. I don't know what opportunities will present themselves in the future, but this was that opportunity to take a look at this. And as you know, I recently had a birthday, so we reached another milestone.
Yeah.
And as long as we can be healthy and continue to work hard and do good things for people in the community that I serve, I feel good.